The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our next episode of Talking Show. Actually, I think in life we've all fallen victims of body shaming, whereby people have felt we weigh less or we weigh more in life. And I think this is actually a hot topic, especially after the current week, whereby our social media has been a hot place whereby people are being body shamed, youths, the old, working class, middle class, and everyone. So body shaming has been there for a while, and I think actually it is now affecting us. It is actually affecting our society because children are being body shamed, the old, and us the youth, especially for us the youths. I think it is because of extensive use of social media per se, but because I'm with my guest here, she's Anne Karambu. She's a nutritionist, psychologist, a life coach, and I think she has mentored people who have been there and encouraged them and guided them on how to overcome it. So actually, when you start, what is actually body shaming? Because I think we've been body shamed na tukujua. So body shaming ni nini? What do you think it is?
Thank you so much
You're
for the
welcome.
opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm glad to be on GBS and Talking Show. Body shaming is someone criticizing or negatively talking about the physical appearance of another.
Yeah.
It is not only about the size of the body, because I think what is widely known is the aspect of the size of the body, whether someone is big or small. So it is not only the body size, so it's not only about that person who is deemed fat or that person deemed thin by society. I want to say fat because there is really no standards to show that a person is supposed to be this specific shape. There is no standards because remember, I'm also a nutritionist. I understand that the size of a person is determined majorly by the genetic composition of that person.
So si hata kukula or anything?
It might be about feeding, but the biggest percentage is the genetic composition. And that's why you realize that like, if a certain size runs in a family, so that one may not really be about feeding. So when we meet a person and we just assume every other big person on the streets has not fed or is feeding, overfeeding. And of course, during this time where we talk about a lot of junk foods, so we imagine that person has fed on junk foods. And of course, society has this right, they feel like I have the mandate to guide this person to be smaller or to guide this person to look bigger.
But for me, I think, okay, let's say maybe we are friends and maybe you look bigger, you appear bigger, right? And then I tell you, by the way, Anne, unaweza enda gym. Maybe I'm seeing with your body, if you go to the gym, you can become better. I don't know if it's because of my standards or...
The reason as to why I would really recommend that we don't do that, even to friends, is because you don't understand the struggle this person has gone through with this weight and for how long. Remember, nobody, of course, would desire to have this big body. We all understand that, of course, issues of weight and health and the effects of it. So it is not like I don't understand that I can predispose myself to pressure, to diabetes, to all those things. So by the time you're coming to me, if you've not understood my story, then it is not good to just go straight giving solutions, because those solutions I have gone through. It's just like what we do, especially during loss and grief. We recommend people not to tell others I'm so sorry for your loss, or I understand your loss, because you don't understand.
Yeah, sure.
You
sure,
cannot
don't.
understand what that person is going through within,
Yeah.
because you've not been in their journey. So you don't know what journey that person has gone through. So issues of physical appearance, of course, we make fun of physical appearance, like we may make fun of eyes. I don't know whether you've met these children who were told that they're big-eyed.
Kama sisi in our family, we have big guys.
Okay, I'm wondering the measure of big, because I don't know whether I can see the big. So you see a person, because of just that statement, that you have big eyes, that person is not able even to stand before people, because this it was so much asserted to them, especially when they're younger.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain a little bit about body shaming. It is more, the effects are more advanced when it starts when you're younger, because from the age of 1 to 12 years, this is when a person's character, a person's personality, a person's values are being formed.
Yeah.
So if this is the time when you faced this bullying a lot, it becomes almost a part of you. It becomes almost a part of your person. So you live throughout your life with this informed message that people say, because it is not us who tell ourselves that we are big, or who tell ourselves that our nose are big, or our eyes are big, are compounded. It is not us who tell ourselves that.
Yeah.
We are told by mostly family and friends.
Yeah.
In fact, it starts from the home.
Sure.
So body shaming can start as early as from home. You see the way aunties and neighbors and cousins come home and they look at that shabby girl and they're like, hey, it's too big. and for you, you think it is just a statement.
Yeah.
But to the child, to the receiver, it is not. Because all of a sudden they're like, I thought I was very pretty. I thought I was very comfortable in my shape.
Yeah.
I thought I was very comfortable in my body. All of a sudden, it informs that person a different information now about themselves that they were comfortable with before, but now because of this statement that is constantly repeated, anytime new people come near that child, that information is formed in their mind as that child is growing. So whether that child looks big according to society or not, even when they are smaller, they will still believe that they are big because of what was said when they were younger.
To ask, why is this increasing in our society? Because was it there before, or it is something that...
I don't believe it is something that was not there. Maybe the only reason as to why it is a little bit magnified, a little bit maybe known about, maybe even being discussed like in such forums. One, it is because of the exposure of social media. Remember, of course, when I was in college, the age of the young people here, we didn't have phones. You can imagine. I don't look that old. But there were no phones then. If the phones were there, they were not phones that have cameras. It was, you remember the Siemens and the Motorola phone? That was the the aerial one. Those are the phones that were there. So definitely that time, the kind of photos we used to have are the Kodak photos. The ones that are taken by, of course, and you have to do that negative thing that used to be produced, and you have to keep it so that you reproduce again. So that is our age. Now, you can be sure at that time, it was not as pronounced. But body shaming was happening at home. Body shaming was happening in schools. Body shaming was happening in the society. Because you meet with people who look at you and are imagining you look different, according to them. Because this is according to other people's judgment, not according to the judgment of the person being body shamed.
So like there's someone watching us from home right now, and even our audience.
Yeah.
Someone has been body shamed before. So what are these effects? Because maybe we're trying to cure a disease we don't even know the symptoms. So
Maybe
effects
let
ni
me
gani?
not get into the effects before I explain what happens to this child.
When body shaming.
Allow me to get to the child, because there is no young person who becomes a young person if they were not a child.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is where it all begins. So remember, I said from the age of 1 year to 12 is when the personality of a person is
being
formed.
yeah.
And if you face bullying, or you face, because to me, body shaming is bullying. Of course, yes, it is a social injustice,
Yeah.
but it is also a form of bullying.
Yeah.
So if I go through this bullying, what happens is that, one, I demean myself. I look down on myself. I always, all the time, I will look at myself and imagine that I am not worthy. So anytime I'm presented with an opportunity to stand out, even in the crowd, I will curtail myself, because what is speaking to me is what I heard people say about me. So one, from that early age, I learned to isolate. From that early age, I learned to walk alone. From that age, I learned that there is something about me that is queer, that is not comfortable, that is not accepted by society. So all the time I am fearing to stand out before the crowd. So this is a child up to the age of 12. So imagine that child getting into teenage. That child gets into what we call identity crisis. I'm still getting into the effects. Because remember, I was told what packages me, which is my physical
Yeah, the
appearance,
physical, yeah.
is not good enough. That is the information I was told.
For example, someone tells you not good enough. And then, okay, like maybe this person anaangalia unaweza kuwa mgonjwa or something. So you told us that kuna hizo magonjwa, maybe diabetes, high blood pressure, all that. And then you take this action of you now becoming fit, because I think maybe the person saw you not fit.
Mostly people who are body shamed. Yes, you may get, but I'm imagining we are in an information age. Who does not know that when you are obese, that you have healthy issues, that you are predisposing yourself to health issues? No one. So you don't have to keep reminding me of it. But of course, humanity has a way of anything that I'm not comfortable with myself, within, I project it on other people. And I think that's why mostly many people unknowingly body shame others, because they're not comfortable with their own image. So they're trying to demean others to look more better,
to be
than
better.
others. So I'll still go back to where I was saying that at teenage, this person now gets into identity crisis. So I have gotten into this identity crisis that, and it is not because of who I am within, it is because of what people say.
Say me.
So you start into, of course, maybe if it was face that I was told, okay, there is also body shaming of, I have so many pimples. I don't know whether we faced that.
Yeah.
So I start looking for oils that are going to help me take out the black
pimples,
spots and everything, and maybe it is the hair. I start dyeing my hair. If it was the nose, I don't know what we do with it. Of course, some people have gone to the extent of doing plastic surgery to be able to shape it to the position they want. You can imagine the expenses we go through.
Yeah.
Others will go to the extent now of the effects you were talking about, health. I was told I'm too huge, so I start reducing on food. And of course, anytime somebody tells you that you're big, the first thought is, it is because I eat a lot. It is not obvious that it is about food. As I said, the genetic composition of a person might predispose somebody to having a little bit bigger weight than the others. health issues, medication that somebody is taking,
Yeah.
like there are antidepressant medication that really make people add weight a lot.
Yeah.
Steroids make people add weight a lot. So you cannot just look at me and imagine that I'm eating a lot of food,
Yeah.
because you don't understand my underlying issue or what it is. After postpartum or after giving birth to a child, the first child definitely most people add their weight a lot. So maybe I would have just given birth, and of course you will not tell me I'm big, and I start explaining, I gave birth last month. So it is not obvious that it is food.
And so these effects on us, because I guess someone is listening right now and watching right now. So these effects are body shaming in Ghana, because maybe ana battle kitu yenye.
That is what I'm explaining, identity crisis. So that person gets immediately into an identity crisis, because I'm not comfortable. I say it in what is packaging me, because the physical appearance is not the person.
Yeah.
The person is who you are within. It is your self-image. Normally, when I'm talking about these issues of body image, I'll bring the concept of self-concept. So self-concept has to do with the image I have of myself, the mental picture that you have of yourself. So I may be looking, okay, of course, people might have told me so many things. And remember, the image is informed by society, is informed by family, is informed by what we watch in the media. It is informed by so many things. So I'm talking about the image. Now, what happens is if my image is distorted, one, I will have identity crisis. I will always be trying to be someone else, or a person that I am not, including maybe putting too much makeup on myself to just feel comfortable, to eating disorders. The eating disorders, like something we call anorexia. Anorexia has to do with not feeding so that you don't get big.
Yeah.
And then there is bulimia, which has to do with you eat so much, but again you vomit all of it because you're fearing to get big.
Oh.
Those are disorders. Those are psychological disorders that come directly because of issues of weight. Then, of course, there are issues of now drug and substance abuse, because now I am not comfortable with who I am. So one of the way to deal with that stress, that isolation, I turn to drugs, or I turn to irresponsible sexual behavior, or especially maybe if it is for a young lady, when they meet somebody who can be able to accept them, and maybe that person is even in very irresponsible behavior, just because they accepted them the way they are, they fall for them. Not because they love them, not because they think they are valuable, but because there is this person who accepts me. So that is all about identity crisis. To of course, issues of depression. There are some people who have even committed suicide because of body shaming. So there is such a big, wide range of effects that come with body shaming. And the biggest of it is underutilized potential. I don't know whether we got that. Underutilized potential. Because as long as I don't like my physical appearance, there is no way I will be able to tap the potential that is within. What happens is that every time even I am put on the spot to be able to showcase what is within me, I look down on myself. Maybe it is, I am a very good speaker, but because somebody told me I'm too huge or I'm ugly, so I will never stand out to exercise that because somebody told me I am not enough.
Okay, and so to ask, so how can someone get over that? Because, okay, yes, maybe I have been body shamed before. So what can I do to overcome that? Because,
Yeah, so of course, this is now where we start, and this is what I mentioned about self-concept. What is the image that you have of yourself? Have you allowed yourself to only have the image that has been formed by what people have said about you? Or do you have a personal image
Yeah.
of yourself?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most young people only have that image that other people have said about them. And this is where now we go into our inner persons and ask, what is my potential?
Yeah.
What is this thing that I can be able to do? Even in this shape that does not look comfortable, even with this nose that is not as flat or as sharp or as nice as it's supposed to be, or these eyes that everybody is saying that they are bigger. How can I be able to tap into that potential and showcase it to the world
Yeah, and get over it.
without allowing that image be informed by what other people say? And of course, that takes courage. Because remember, you're only talking to yourself.
Yeah.
In a time where likes and shares and how many people were happy about our shape on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram and of course where else, the TikToks
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
How many likes did I get? So it takes courage to be able to sit
actually get over
down
that, yeah. Yeah.
and start appreciating yourself.
So I'll actually cut you short because time actually is not on our side. And to everyone watching, you have been told we should not let you should not let us to be defined by how people see us or view us. So we're actually going for a short break, for a short commercial break, and we'll be back. Remember our SMS number is 21144. Remember to follow this conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at GBS TV Africa, and we'll be back after a short break.
This is our world, our country, our community, and our society. It's all happening at Chungu cha Jamii. In this place, we talk about parenting, we talk about marriage, we talk about relationships, we talk about dating. We go to the prisons and find out how life is over there. We talk about the village, what happens down there in our slums. What exactly is happening back in our schools? What is happening with the people that we know as our husbands and our brothers? What is happening with addiction also in our society? We offer solutions. We bring in experts, we bring in psychologists to tell us more on how to handle our problems. Come, let us share together. Let's get round the pot, have some soup, and talk about the issues in our community.
Hello guys, this is the 77%, the platform for Africa's youth to debate issues and share ideas.
You know, on this channel, we are not afraid to touch on delicate topics.
Africa's population is growing fast. Why is African identity so important?
Why are we so religious?
What is the relationship between religion and corruption in African countries? Let's hear what you have to say.
Let the discussion begin.
Young people have felt for the longest time that they were not part of the conversation.
And we want to find out why.
Poverty is poverty. It's not about where you come from. It's about trying to survive, and everybody's trying to survive. It doesn't matter what country you come from.
How come the dress code rules are for the women and not for the men?
It is not fair.
You belong to society.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So yeah, looks like we're all ready for a fight, hasn't it?
They don't know the hard living that we are going through.
Okay.
They don't know.
So I guess in a lot of ways we still have a long way to go.
And young people clearly have the solutions.
The future belongs to you.
So welcome back from the short commercial break we just had. In the first session, we've heard that body shaming is bad. Sawa. Na to everybody watching us, hata wewe body shame uko manze, hata body shaming, because it makes someone feel bad about themselves, look down upon themselves, sababu it really gets bad. Ile mtu anakwambia you are too big, you're too huge. Manze, I am huge because the definition of you are small haimatch sawa. So actually this is now we want to hear from our lovely audience. Maybe kuna wenye wamepitia this body shaming before. So we want to hear real stories about this. The questions that we have for our guests today. Yeah, so questions.
Yes, my name is Rachel.
Yes, Rachel.
I'm doing broadcast journalism.
Yeah.
So I want to talk on behalf of my ladies.
Millions of ladies out there.
Yes, ladies, okay. This type of body shaming where si kunona ama kukonda, lakini ile, you know, in this generation that we are in, this other gender, wanatakanga zile vitu, you know. So, that thing, like, it has affected many people. Many people like us, you know, like us. So, like, should we do something about it? Because now it has reached a point that tunaumia. Yes, nobody wants us. Hakuna mtu anatutaka. So, like, hapo tutafanya aje? Because now there's, sincerely speaking, there's nothing we can do, but there's something we can do. So
Okay.
what is what?
Yeah, next. Who else? Yeah, behind you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
By the name of Boniface Kiok from Arnhem College, pursuing media and journalism. And I just want to stand like an advocate for those guys back at home, because even from the Constitution of Kenya, Chapter 4, Article 29 and also 59 of the Constitution, it really indicates that there is a category that deals with national human freedom and also rights.
Yeah.
So I just want to see this. Even if you are body shamed now, you just need to know that the Constitution is also there to stand for you. So that's why I'm just advocating this to the young men down there. Like my sister, she has said that those guys have been discriminative to them because of their body size, whatever, which things to do with that. But with me, I normally feel it that I just think that everyone out there has been body shaped in one way or the other. Because even if you're a dark-skinned guy like me, out there you'd be told you are black, you are this. But at the sum total of it all, we are Africans. That's our culture. That's our color too. So I just think that even if you are body shamed in which way, then the Constitution is also there. Because to whoever is doing that, then he or she is doing it against the Constitution.
Especially Kyoko is saying here,
yes,
when you body shamed, peleka mtu kwa polisi. Is that easy?
So you can stand for yourself, because the Constitution is also preserving you for that. Because no one can do anything like discriminating or lowering your dignity in terms of their body shape or whatever. But I just feel it like that person
can you
should
take your sister to the police?
So that's why I'm just standing out to advocate for this, because even if you're shamed in which way, then you should take hope. You should take courage that this guy, he does ignore the Constitution. Whatsoever way, I'm better than him or her. Why? Because I know there is something which is there to stand for me and also care about for me. So even if you're body shamed, then you can just take an action upon that. So I don't think that can be too much of it. Then down there, then I have this question to our guests. It has gone to this extent whereby even if you're in class and then you are such a person who is always body shamed, you are discriminated in one way or the other. If you take this scenario, in most of the cases, those people who are undergo this way, in terms of academics and also socializing with the other friends, it is too low. It's very poor. Why? Because you have no friend, you have no one to share your feelings and your ideas with, because everyone is looking upon you like, who is this now? So to our guest today, I just want to know from you, now as the youth, we are the youth at this generation, want to change the future as it comes, so that even if it will come in which way, then we have someone who can tell actually the others that this is not the right way to do it. So to our guest, what do you think is the right message to impact to the youth down there upon this, the act of body shaming? Thank you.
Someone else with a question? Yes, pass it over.
Okay, thank you. My name is Cynthia.
Yes, Cynthia.
Okay, I want to ask this question.
Yeah.
Okay, to us who have been body shamed, especially me in terms of my color and my body. Okay, I want to ask this. Okay, who can we talk to for us to voice out this concern about body shaming? Because we isolate ourselves sometimes, and sometimes it leads to depression and maybe suicide. So who can we talk to?
Sure, that's actually nice.
Okay, thank you. I'm Zainab. I'm doing IT. So she talked about isolation, and you said body shaming causes isolation. Now I was asking how to overcome
Isolation. Oh, like how to overcome it.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. I think that is the last one.
Okay, my name is Florence, alumni from Mannheim. I was doing radio production. Okay, I can say constitution imenitetea. Like, okay, me, I've been body shamed, like, you short, nilienda kuuliza job somewhere else, and then the boss was like, okay, how old are you? Like, nikamwambia, okay, I'm 22, and then he's like, no, you look like high schooler, you're 16, 17 there. So, hiyo kukua body shamed, like I was asking, how can you overcome it? Like, okay, mtu akikwambia, hey, na wewe ni mshort. Okay, you know, just take it like a joke, but sometime itakuja like ikuume. Like, how are you going to overcome it?
Yeah, sure. So, to our guest, the question is here. How can you overcome it? How can you get over it? Yeah.
Of course, there was the question from our viewer on the issue of what can we do when, especially the guys, are not able to select
Yes,
us
they're
among,
not accepting you like you are,
the girls.
as you are.
I'll say solution number one is you have to really love yourself first, the way you are. You have to accept yourself the way you are. Because assume that all these other measures that are there, including eating, and some people are told to go eat a lot of chips and eat a lot of fat. If you do all that and you don't get that weight, does it mean now you stop living? No. So the first point is you have to really accept yourself the way you are. If you're not in a position to do that, I will answer this together with the other question. Seek professional help from a counselor. The counselor will help you to go through the pain, the trauma that body shaming has caused. It is good to get a professional counselor. Unfortunately, we go and speak to our peers who will just tell you, that's not a big deal. Just leave it. What's the big deal? So get a professional counselor who can be able to get to understand what is the emotions, what is the effect, how has it affected your productivity? Because that you cannot be able to do with a friend or a peer who you're together with. The issue of isolation, the question on isolation, definitely yes. Seek again professional help so that you can learn to be able to interact with other people more. The professional will help you to do interpersonal relationships. Remember, body shaming has to be worked on. One, I talked about the self-concept. If that particular issue of self-concept is not clear with all of us, and it is positive, it will become very hard to be able to handle body shaming, because body shaming can happen anywhere. It happens in church, it happens at home, it happens in school, everywhere. So there are those people who will always feel like bullying you. So does it mean you stop living? No. You have to pick up your pieces, stand out for yourself, and be able to speak and say no to that person who is undermining you. And of course, there is, again, let me explain a little bit on the self-concept. We have to do with body image. The picture you have of your body. That is where now the body shaming is coming in. Then the second one has to do with the self-image. The image I have of myself within. What are my potential? What are my talents? What are my abilities? What are the values that I stand for? If I am not clear on those issues, then it means everybody else that speaks against me is going to hurt me. Because within, I'm not comfortable with who I am. I want to be something else that I'm not. Like, I am struggling to sing when in the actual sense I'm not a singer. I am maybe in drama, or I'm in football, or I am able to draw more. So what happens when you are able to get your self-image clearly? It helps you even to build those traits that are within and the potential within. Understand your academic prowess. Those are the subjects are you able to pass in, so that you don't go struggling with a course that needs mathematics and you're good in languages. You're struggling with something that you don't completely know. That has to do with self-image. The other one has to do with self-esteem. Self-esteem is the worth that I have given myself. Imagine that person who has been body shamed and to some extent has looked down on themselves. Definitely, you will not be able to love yourself. You will not give yourself worth because already you look down on yourself. So you have to work on your self-esteem. Then, of course, there is the aspect of ideal self, the picture you have of yourself in the future. Things may not be very good right now. Things may not be working, but you can look into the future and see that you will, what you want to become. A better person than the one that you are right now.
So actually there's someone mwenye amekuwa body shamed right now, and she's that, okay, he or she is in that desperate situation, maybe. Because actually you said anafaa ku reach out to counselors. But I think these people, okay, these two comes with a price. And do you know, or, okay, from where they can get free advice or something?
There are several places that free counseling is offered. I know of many churches that offer professional counseling, so you can reach out to such. I also offer free counseling sometimes.
That is nice.
Yes.
I was actually waiting for that.
I also do free counseling. Of course, not that my counseling is free, but I also offer counseling, free counseling services. I do it online, both online and live. So anytime that you're going through that pain, please don't go through it alone. Because you are not only at stake. It is not only you that is at stake. Even your children. Body shaming almost becomes a cycle. Because if I was body shamed, I am going to be looking down on myself. The most likely thing of my children also to be body shamed is very high. Because when I get children, I will not be able to affirm them when they are younger. Because affirmation means everything. What you tell your child matters. The child must be appreciated from home first. So if I'm not appreciated, if I'm not applauded, if nobody tells me that, wow, you have a nice walking style, you have nice legs from home. When I am told those things out there, or when I am criticized out there, I'll imagine that is the person I am. But imagine if that child started from home. Definitely, they will go out there confident. They are comfortable with who they are, because from home, they were told they are okay. So it becomes a cycle. I was explaining that it becomes a cycle. So the child will also be bullied. And the child also, children will also be bullied. So this cycle never ends. And this is what we call rejection, or the spirit of rejection, especially in our religious setup. You imagine that it is because you are hated by people. No, it is because this is something you pass on from one generation to another.
And so your message to body shamers out there, because there are people who are actually good at body shaming. So what is actually your message out there to them?
There are those people that are bullies naturally. I think they just like bullying people. Yes, they are naturally just, I don't want that word hivo. They have chosen this personality of bringing other people down.
People.
One thing I want to tell the person who is being bullied or being body shamed, every single bully is uncomfortable with themselves.
Say that again.
Every single bully out there is uncomfortable with themselves within. So because they are not very comfortable with who they are within, they go putting other people down so that they can be on top.
Okay, to add on that, personally, I think I've encountered many bullies, especially on Twitter. Sorry to say that. And I think they have set their bar too low, so that when someone is doing better than them, they feel maybe they actually feel intimidated. So actually to add on what you've said, bullies out there, I think they feel that people, and as who have been bullied, they feel that we have too much potential, too much confidence. And I think if someone has bullied you, take that as actually a stepping stone. Jua like manze, you are a hell of a story. Like you're too good, you're really too good, and be smart.
The point is, you are not the problem. They are the problem. That person who is bullying you is the problem, not you. So because they have this pain within that they have never dealt with, so the only way to do is go stepping on other people so that they can get to the top. And another name, of course, for those people are narcissists. Those people who just think about themselves alone. But every single narcissist has issues within. So many unfinished businesses that they have carried and piled along their path. And even them, we have a solution for them. Come for counseling. Come, let us sit down and talk so that you deal with that pain, so that you don't create more other hurting people. Imagine how many people have killed themselves, committed suicide because of you, the bully. Yes, you were making a name for yourself, but what about that person you brought down? Where do you leave them? What if it was your child? What if it was your sister? What if it was you that is being bullied like that? And of course, in this time of cyberbullying, where something just happens and everybody is behind the keyboard, I'm comfortable here. Nobody is seeing me anyway, so I just write and you don't care how that information is making that other person feel. So what question that I want for all of us, the viewers and those that are on studio, anytime you want to say something nasty to a person, ask yourself, if I am the one being told this statement, how will it feel for me? And that what will always help us to change. Because remember, any negative word you speak against another is like, unfortunately, social bullying or the social, the emotional bullying and everything, because body shaming is in that. It hurts more than physical bullying. It's better somebody akugonge tungumi instead of speaking those words, because the problem with them is that they stick in our mind. We live with them. If I was hit and I had a jeraha, I can heal. What about those words, those negative words that are spoken against me? They stick in my mind. They inform me. There's somebody who was just told maybe by a teacher, well, just get out of this place, you thin girl. And they lived with that word. Thin. They lived with those words for 20, 50 years. You're not able to get out of that. So before you release those negative words about someone, kindly just think, what if it was me? How would I feel about it? Then again, before you offer solutions to other people, get into their shoes. Kindly get into their shoes. Don't be quick to tell them about the gym, about this program that is there of fasting and those other and the fat diets that are out there online. Please don't start telling them about those things before you get into their shoes. Get to understand the journey they have been through first. At least get to understand what do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Or just start a story. Let it be from a relationship point of view. I'm not meaning that people don't come to my office and I guide them on nutrition. I'm a nutritionist.
Yeah.
I will guide them. But the way I speak about it matters. There are people who have guided and they have been able to change, especially their diet and their lifestyle. Yes, it happens. But don't just go out there
And start
thinking that you can be able to just advise every other person you meet on the road.
Yeah, so actually, on this discussion, we've learned that body shaming is actually a vice that we should condemn. And to the body shamers out there, I think you should work on yourself first of all. I think there's a great person who said body shamers are trash. And I believe they are. To those who have been body shamed, I believe it is the high time you raise above the occasion. You go beyond and actually discover yourself and use that as actually a means, as an avenue of getting better. For example, personally, I was body shamed. I was told, I was told I was a stammerer, but look to where I am now. I'm a TV host. That is actually, I'm actually proud of myself because I overcame that. I got over that. And to everybody out there at home, you can, and I believe the only thing that is holding you behind is that you have fear to get over yourself. So, I really hope that this discussion could continue. But my producer back there is telling me that we're behind time. And so remember, our SMS number is 21144. And remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and actually, at GBS TV Africa. Remember to leave your comments behind and tell us, maybe the stories you've had, maybe you've been a subject to bullying and body shaming. So see you next time. It was a pleasure having my guest and the lovely audience. See you next time. Thank you. I love you all back there and here.
Thank you.